Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. It's very warm. Good morning to all of you from sunny Dubai. I'm very happy to see you live with me to go through 5 steps to start and grow a successful business. Before I start this webinar, I'd like to know, where are you calling in from? I know that majority of our audience are calling from Dubai or Abu Dhabi, but let me know, because I want you also to get used to using the chat. You can either send it to me directly or send it to all the participants. So let me know, use the chat on the right side. Just write for me, where are you calling in from? And if you have any questions, they can see a Q&A button at the bottom of this page. You can write your questions and I will answer everything by the end of this presentation. My partner Saman is with me here. I need the chat there, please. So I have a co-host. Saman is here, and you might hear from him as well in case any technical thing come up. Okay. Oh, from Kuwait, Zain, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us from Kuwait. I have been working with entrepreneurs from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, from the UAE since 2014. It's been our mission to empower entrepreneurs in the region, to bridge the gap, because we have taken so many courses which are based in North America, and we know that the knowledge that they have in entrepreneurship is way more advanced compared to this region. And it's been my mission since then to bridge the gap and bring all of that knowledge to our entrepreneurs here in the region. My pleasure, Zain. We're calling it, so we have participants from Dubai, from Abu Dhabi, from Kuwait. I'm very happy to see all of you today. Please, I want to keep this a very engaging webinar. So if you have any questions, let me know. Either write them in the Q&A button that you can see at the bottom of this page, or use the chat box. Again, you have an option to either send it to all panelists or just send it to me. Both ways work. Awesome. So again, I'm asking it again. I can see new participants joining in. Just let me know, where are you calling in from? Because I'd love to know, where are all of you? Most of you are from the Middle East, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get into I'm gonna close my video. I'll come back again. I'll jump into it after I'm done with the presentation. So I'll be able to, so I can see a lot of familiar names on the participants list. Welcome to all of you. A very good morning again. I'm going to stop my video. I don't want any distraction. The next 90 minutes, I want you to stay with me. So I'm gonna stop the video and I'll share my screen with you. Hold on a second. I'm still getting the hang of Zoom. Awesome. Okay. That's perfect. I'm sure you can see it now. You can't see my screen for some reason. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, give me a second. And play. I hope you can all see my screen. Just send me yes in the chat box if you can hear me well. See my screen so we can dive into it. So just write in the chat box for me that you can hear me, you can see my screen, and we'll start. Perfect. Thank you for your confirmation. Awesome. I'm glad. Okay, so the first thing, we are going to talk about the 5 steps to start and grow a successful business. Before we start, I want to ask you to please turn off your email. I know that probably you have many tabs open on your computer. Turn off your email, Skype, iTunes, any other distracting programs. Please silence your phone. Tell your family, colleagues that you need the next 90 minutes to learn some amazing tools to increase the quality of your business, and they will thank you later for taking this time for yourself. Grab a pen and paper. There is going to be a lot of learning, and give me 100% of your attention. This is for your own good. I want to also thank you for being here today with me. I know how busy everyone's schedules are, and I acknowledge you for investing this time with me to reveal to you my learnings in the last 7 years since I started 4 businesses. I will do everything in my power to make it worth your time. I hope that this webinar serves you in getting your message out there. Before we start, I want to know my audience better, and I want to know a little bit more from you. I want to hear from you. Let me know how many of you have already started your own business. Again, use the chat box either just to me or to all the panelists. Let me know I want to know how many entrepreneurs we have here in the room. How many of you have already started your business? So just write in the chat box. I want to also make sure that you're all still with me. We're just starting. So how many entrepreneurs you have in the room? And the next question that I have for you, you can answer all the questions together. So let me know even the name. Carla, I'm glad that we have an entrepreneur here. Let me know the name of your business so I can give you a shout out as well. I'm still thinking of the best idea. We all go through that phase, Zain. Yum by Mom. Oh, that sounds very interesting. I'd love to know more about it. Started my own business since 2015. That's awesome. Okay, I'm very happy to have some entrepreneurs in the room. And let me know if you have to scale from 1 to 10. How happy are you currently with your business? Sarah, is it? Zach is Little Love. Interesting. Supporting working families. Okay, so let me know if you had to scale your business. How happy are you currently with your business? Let me know. Give me a number from 1 to 10. Don't overthink it. Anything that comes into your mind, 10. Carla, I've never had a 10. Awesome. I'm proud of you. That's perfect. You just changed my mood. I've never had a 10. It started 2 years ago. Perfect. We started in August. Well, but that's good. You're starting with a very high energy. Hodis, you also 10. I love you guys. I've never had 10s in any of my webinars. This is a special group to me. So I don't have anybody who rated below 6, but tell me if there is anything, even if you rated 10, if there's anything that it's not working for you. What is it that you want to learn more about? Is it your finance? Is it your marketing? Is it getting the right audience? What is it that you want to work on? What is it that you find challenging? So even if everything is working, you need an improvement. Which part of your business you feel that needs more improvement? How to extend our reach? Yeah, Carla, that's marketing. Sarah, also marketing. I see many marketings actually. I usually see a lot of finance definitely. Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing your feedback with me. Why you showed up today? So I'm assuming that you're either tired of working for someone else, you have a burning desire to start your own business. We had one of our audience here who she's going to start her own business. You are a stay-at-home mom. It's about time to get back to work. You want the freedom and flexibility of entrepreneurship. You have started a business a while ago. Things aren't going the way you imagined them initially. We all go through that phase. You have a successful business. You want to grow it even more, and there's always room for improvement. So, my dear friends, I'm here to tell you that you are in the right place. If you're in any of the above categories, then definitely you are in the right place. Zain is in the number 1 for sure. You can either, I see that a lot of you are sending your messages only to me. You can also send it to everyone. You can choose all panelists. It's up to you, but it's good that everybody else will see your answers as well. I've created this training for all the entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs who want to offer their brilliant idea to the world and make it a better place. So I have a value-packed presentation for you today. And by the end of this webinar, here is what you will discover. Number 1, is your business idea viable and is it suitable for you? The second part of this question, I see that a lot of people ignore it. They feel that the idea is brilliant, they jump into it. But the important question is that idea suitable for you? 2, having a roadmap all the time, communicating strategically with stakeholders, track your numbers, and bringing in funding when you need it. So these are the things that we are going to discover together today. I have a special bonus for my overachievers, those of you who will stay till the end of this webinar, and I'm going to announce it to you by the end of the webinar. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I saw many familiar faces in the audience, but some of you don't know me, so let me give you a little bit of a background. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I am currently a professional speaker and trainer, and we organize events for entrepreneurs. So I get paid to speak, which is actually a pretty good thing. As an introvert, I would have never imagined that, but I'm really enjoying it. So we started 4 businesses from Fraise Blanche, which we started in France, Polar Bear Creative, it's an advertising and production company, Mom Souk. For those moms who remember from 2012, it's a community for mothers, it classifies, and Mompreneurs Middle East, which is my baby, which I really believe in it, and my own personal branding as a professional speaker and trainer, which is Mona Tawassuli. We have been, the concept of mompreneurs was so interesting for media that we have over 200 publications who talked about us, interviews on TV, radio, and to be honest with you, the first 2 years that we started our business in Dubai, 2011, 2013, we were just trying to understand the market, find out what we wanted to do. We hired 9 people in our business, and we're just hoping that we will be able to pay the bills next month. We were enjoying every minute of it, but to be honest with you, something wasn't working. So for those of you who are in the first 2 years of your business, I'm sure you can relate to this, that it's very exciting. We're all excited when we start out, but there are times that if we haven't done our homework when it comes to entrepreneurship, we feel that something is not working. So let me be very, very honest with you. Some of you who are my close friends that I can see in participants, you might not know this, but in 2014, the reality hit, and we had to let go of all of our employees because we could not pay their salaries, and some of them left. So that was one of the most difficult moments in my life, because those people trusted us, and I felt we let them down. They were some of the most brilliant people to have in your team, and it was very painful to let them go. We were in the 3rd year of our business when we were very, very close to closing down our business and forgetting about entrepreneurship altogether. And I realized that a lot of our mompreneurs weren't in business anymore too. The statistics say that 90% of entrepreneurs, of businesses, fail in the first 3 years. And it was becoming a reality for me, and I could see it around me as well. I don't want to discourage you, but 9 out of 10 businesses fail. But I am still an entrepreneur, so that is a good news. So in 2014, I decided to invest in my own education, just to find out what happened. Why didn't it work? We had the most brilliant team. We had all the knowledge. I have 2 master's degrees. I have worked on brands like Nestle. So I had that professional background working in corporate. So it was just that desire to know why it didn't work. And I wanted to know who are the people who stay in the business and who are the people that lose their business in the first 3 years. So I saw it as my mission to understand what happened. So I attended many, many conferences and events by world-class trainers. I'm sure you know these names on my screen, from Tony Robbins that I attended in London to Brian Tracy, Marshall Goldsmith. I'm part of Vital Voice. It's an amazing organization in the US. I did all of their programs, from VV Groups, which is a 1-year entrepreneurship program. I'm part of their 100 leaders in the world, the only one from the UAE that is in that group. Vital Voices, VV Lead, which is their leadership program, T. Harv Eker, Steve Blank, Gary V, Amy Porterfield, Marie Forleo, Peng Joon, and many, many books and seminars. So it was really, I took it very seriously to understand what happened. And it was, to be honest with you, it took me a couple of years to find out what it didn't work. What I realized was that entrepreneurs, especially as young entrepreneurs, we don't know what we don't know. So please remember this sentence, that as entrepreneurs, we don't know what we don't know. We were doing the things we knew perfectly, but there were things that we didn't even know. We were not aware of them, and we were not implementing them. So I learned and learned and learned until I finally mastered the game of entrepreneurship, and it's my mission to educate our community as well. Today, we organize events for entrepreneurs, and we educate them. It is our mission to educate the community. This is the picture that you can see. It's me and Donna Benton, the founder of The Entertainer, and it's our global mentoring walk. I'm not sure if you guys, any of you attended. We had over 100 mentors and mentees from GM of Nestle, people from Microsoft, Donna. They were all our mentors, and our mentees were our mompreneurs. So today I live my mission every single day. I'm still a serial entrepreneur, mother of 2 young boys, 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. I'm a professional speaker and trainer. As I said, I'm a VB 100 leader, and I mentor at different organizations. And I'm also trained by Facebook office, Shimin's business, for those of you who are aware of this training. Today, as I said, I live my mission every day. It's very difficult. It's actually very different than the life I had a couple of years ago. I went through a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges, but I finally found my driving force, which is empowered mothers raise empowered children who are our future leaders. And we empower them and we educate mothers through entrepreneurship. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background about me for those of you who don't know me, and some of the stories, especially my struggles, even my close friends who are on the list of participants and I can see their name, they were not aware of those struggles that we went through. So it's time for you to step into the field of entrepreneurship, create something that makes you proud, and also, very important, to make a difference in this world. For me, the ultimate success is when you have the freedom of time, money, and choice. It's when you have that balance and harmony, when we have it in our lives. I have worked with over 2,000 entrepreneurs in the last couple of years. I have seen a lot of them that their businesses became very successful, but their personal lives, meanwhile, or their health, or their children, there are a lot of things that were important to them from day one, but they neglected them because they wanted to pay all of their attention to their business. So it's very important that we don't forget our values, we don't forget our goals, and the ultimate goal for us is to have the freedom of time, money, and choice. Okay, so let's get into the presentation for today. I'm just checking my chat box. If there's anything you want to tell me, let me know. Let's get into the 5 steps to start and grow a successful business. I feel very close to all of you. If you see me pause, don't switch off your phone. I'm just drinking water or tea. I'm talking much faster than I usually do to be able to give you as much as I can, to teach you as much as I can in the next 90 minutes that we're together. Okay. The step number 1 is your business a viable idea and is it suitable for you? What do we mean by that? One thing that I want you all to do as entrepreneurs is, if I ask you, what are your values? So if I ask you now, just as a friend, as a trainer, what are your values? Without thinking, I want you to have the answers on top of your mind. The top values, the top 5 values in your life. Forget about your business now, it's about the values in your life. So the values are the things that you believe and they're important to you, and you have to, as an entrepreneur, know all of those values. You have to identify your values and you have to align your life with those values. There are many exercises that you can do online. There is a list of values that we share with our mompreneurs during our entrepreneurship course that we have, Mompreneur Rising. So this is one of the exercises that we take very seriously, and I want you to know, if somebody asks you what are your values, to be able to answer them. Because then the times that you have to take decision, you know whether you want to compromise on those values or not. They have to be crystal clear to you. The second question that I want you to be aware of is, what is your why? And what do I mean by that? So you should be able to have answer to all of these questions. What's your purpose? What's your cause? What is your belief? Why does your organization exist? I'm not talking about financials now. I'm not talking about money. That's not the reason that the organization exists. We all need the money for the business to grow, and the more money you have, definitely the bigger impact you can have. But the only reason to have a business cannot be money, because the times that gets difficult, that's not a good enough motivation. Why do you get out of bed every day? And what is your driving force? So your why usually is bigger than yourself. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So they follow you, they do business with you, not just for your money, but because they believe in your why. So your employees, your suppliers, your tribe, your partners, you will create some loyal customers when you share with them your why. So when I realized, it took me a while to have a crystal clear why, which is empowered mothers raise empowered children, and we empower them through education and entrepreneurship. But now every time I speak, every time I train, I always talk about our why, because people who are in the room, they can resonate with that. Even if they're not moms, I've seen a lot of men came to me and say, I believe in your cause, I believe in your why, and I want me, my sister, my mom to be a part of it. So loyalty happens when people believe what you believe and they want to be a part of what you do. Otherwise, if in your value proposition, you only choose that, okay, I'm cheaper than everybody else, you can never create a loyalty, because there's always somebody who can come and beat you with a lower price. You attract those who believe what you believe, and your why keeps you going when you want to give up. So this is something that I want you to think about it. You can also watch the TED talk of Simon Sinek to know your why. He talks about golden circle. What he says is that a lot of people know what they do, they know how they do it, they don't know why they do it. This is something that I want you to think about. As I said, when I was writing my why, it was a full paragraph, and then I had to go back to it. It took me like 6 months to finally have that crystal clear why. So I don't expect you to finish it now by the end of this presentation, but be aware of it. The things that I talked to you today, it's an eye opener. I just want you to be aware of the fundamentals that you need to know. So today we know that our why is empowered mothers, is empowered children, who are our future leaders. Vision and mission, you need to have it for your organization, but that's something I'm sure you're aware of. Our vision is a world in which mothers feel accomplished and fulfilled with their lives. They have found harmony and they feel empowered. So you can see that our vision is more about your overall success and not just success in your business, but we also believe that we empower them through entrepreneurial education and mompreneurship and guide them to find balance and success in their personal and professional lives. The third thing I want to talk to you about, these are the fundamentals that a lot of organizations, they forget about them, but that's also one of the reasons that a lot of people fail in the first 3 years of their business. When you have the fundamentals done, then things will become much easier. As soon as I realized my why, there were a lot of events that I canceled. There were new events that I started because my why was crystal clear. So everything else, your what and how, will come into place when you know your why. Let me tell you about your win. You might have seen this before, but even if you have, I want you to do this exercise again. Draw 3 circles, and one of them is passion, one of them is talent, and one of them is market. For your business to be a viable idea, I want you to make sure that you have all of these 3 in place, because if you have the passion and you have the talent, but there is no market for it, it's more of a hobby. They say that you're happy, but you're poor. So it's fine. Even if you want to treat it as a hobby, the first question I ask my mompreneurs, my entrepreneurs, my students is it a hobby or is it a business? One of them was telling me, Mona, it was a hobby. I was treating it as a hobby, but I was expecting the results of a business. And that brings a lot of frustration and disappointment for you. But if you know that, I have a couple of hours in a day, I just want to feel good, I just want to do something, it's more of a hobby. Just be clear about it. If it doesn't have a market, it's more like a hobby. If you have a passion, you have a market, you don't have a talent, that's going to fail. Imagine I tell you, I want to teach French, I love the language, I'm so passionate about it, there's a huge market for it, I don't know how to speak French, right? So I'm exaggerating here, but if you don't have the talent, you either need to go invest in yourself, to attend workshops, gain that knowledge, you need to hire somebody, but you need to have the talent in place. Otherwise, it's just a dream. Sometimes there is a talent, we are very good at it, there is a market, but we are not really passionate about it. A lot of people who go to work, they fall into that place. They might be rich, but they are bored. When we are in a corporate job and we don't feel that passion anymore, it's in that place. So make sure, now ask this question, am I passionate about what I do? Am I talented? Am I in that area? Or do I have the right team in place? And does it have enough markets? For market, you have to do a lot of research. We have one full session on market research, but just to give you one simple tip, at least interview 7 to 10 people face-to-face, not surveys, face-to-face. Talk to them, talk to your clients, let them do the talking. Have open-ended questions, ask them about their desires, their fears. So you have to make sure that there is enough market for it. And let me tell you one more thing. When you're writing your passion, write things that even if they're not related to your business, but you're passionate about them. Since I always loved training and educations, and I am, as we speak, enrolled in 6 different courses. So I'm very passionate about learning and growing. But when I was doing Mom Soup or Polar Bear, all of these workshops that I was attending, I could not do anything with them in my business. They were more of a personal thing and self-mastery, and they're quite expensive. These going to different countries. I just came back from Bali for a 5-day digital marketing retreat, and I learned so much in that retreat as well. I believe in them, but they're also a huge investment of time, money, and energy. But when I turned my passion into my business, in Mompreneurs Middle East, it makes sense for me to do all of this training, pay for them, take the time and energy, because then I can share all of this with you. For our Mompreneur Rising alumni who have graduated from course, I had a special video, a Facebook Live for them just about their marketing funnel. So everything that I learn, I can then share it with my students. So I turn my passion into my business. So these are all the things that I want you to consider. When you know your why very clearly, when you have your win, that's when success happens. But what do we really mean by success? Because as I said before as well, every single person has a different image in their mind when we talk about success. So make sure that your ladder is leaning on the right wall, because our time is limited and we have to make the most of it. So when we started our business, for example, for us, success was having 50 employees, 100 employees, a huge office, the biggest production company. But then I realized that as a mother, what is important for me is actually that freedom of time, money, and choice. For me, empowering others, having a lean team, this is what I really want. So be very honest with yourself. Sit down. The success, what it means to me is very different to what it means to you. And when you identify your values, it's very easy to have a clear picture about success as well. So that's another thing that I want you to think about, that what does success mean to you? Because now media, social media, everything, they are portraying success as external things. So I want you to be honest with you and see what does success mean to you, and how can you manifest your idea in a way that's in line with your definition of success and your values as well. Step number 2, if I'm just checking my chat box again, was that valuable? So give me a feedback. Is this something that I believe that step number 1, it's makes my audience think. It's like taking one step back, asking the fundamental questions that a lot of times we forget to ask about them. And I took a lot of entrepreneurship courses. A lot of people totally forget about this phase. Step number 2 is more technical. It's about having a clear roadmap all the time. There are 3 tools that I want to share with you. The tool number 1 is Business Model Canvas. I'm not sure if you have heard of it or not. Even if you have heard of it, pay close attention, because this is one of the tools that you can use for your business from today. It's very, very simple, but it's kind of life-changing, because it's on one piece of paper. You can have it on an A3, show it to your team, show it to your stakeholders, show it to your board members, show it to anybody basically, and they can have a clear idea about what you do and what is your strategy. I'm going to go very quickly through the 9 modules. When I share my video again, you will see a huge business model canvas behind me. So this is something that we use in our office with the Post-its. We write everything that, you can use it for different products. You can use it for different ideas that you have. So we use it for different events that you have. So you can use it on different occasions. It has 9 different modules. The number 1 is your customer segment. You need to have a clear idea of who your customer, what's your customer segment. It can't be everyone, because our resources are limited, and I want you to be very focused. So I usually ask my mompreneurs to not have more than 3 customer segments. Ideally 2, so you can focus on them. After you master, like you have a proper system for those 2, then you can always add more into it. But at least when you're beginning, I want you to have 2, maximum 3 customer segments. What kind of relationship you want to have? The relationship I have with my mompreneurs is very close. Like I talk to them. I go on Facebook Live every week. They see me. So it's a very, very personal kind of relationship. If you have an e-commerce website, it will be all automated. It will be all through emails. It will be all through websites. Again, there's no right or wrong answer, but you need to know what type of relationship you're going to have with your customer. What are the channels you're using to talk to your audience, from social media to your website, to are you delivering items to them? So all of the channels you're using to be in touch with your customers. Do you go to different events? Do you attend workshops? What are the things that you do in order to be in touch with your customer? And value proposition is, why should they come to you and not to others? That's also very important. What makes you different compared to your competitors? These 4 modules, they are more into your marketing, and we will cover that in the marketing as well. But they are mainly, when you have the answers in your marketing, you will have answers for these 4 modules. The 3 Other modules, the key activities, key resources, and key partners, are quite simple. They're mainly into your operations. So what are the key activities that you do? What are the resources that you need, whether it's a human capital, if you want to have a store in the mall, if you need a gym, for example, what are the resources that you need for your business, and who are your key partners? For example, people who can help you spread the word out, your suppliers, people who are in the ecosystem that can help you. So that's more of an operations. And then the bottom two are your financials, cost structure. What are your costs, from your salaries to the rent to license fee, and the revenue streams? How do you want to make money? So this looks very, very simple, but you need to think about all of those modules. And because it's very simple to do, usually you can do it much faster than your business plan, which I'm sure you're aware of the business plan. But people usually ask me, Mona, do we need business plan? And my answer is yes. Let me tell you one mistake that I made personally back in 2013 was to hire an agency to do my business plan. That was one of my biggest mistakes, because we paid the money. Yes, we had many meetings with them. I had that beautiful 30 pages business plan. But the whole point of business plan is the thought process of sitting down, thinking about step by step what you need to do, not just the final product, not just the final plan itself. Because yes, I understand that over time, things will change and you may not follow your business plan 100%. But even for those of you who believe in, if you have watched the movie Secret or the universe bringing you things, the whole point is to have that clarity. The whole point is you can visualize the next steps. You're clear about what needs to be done in your business. That's what's for me in the business plan, to give you that. It's like your vision board. It's more like the next step of what needs to be done. And it has different, there are different templates for a business plan. You can Google them. You will get many, many answers for a business plan. But usually the main parts of it are your executive summary, which if you're going to a bank to get a loan, or if you want to find an investor, usually executive summary is the only page they read, unless they find it really amazing and then they read all the other pages. So invest some time in your executive summary. Don't take it lightly. Your mission statement, your company background, your product description, your marketing plan, competitor analysis, SWOT analysis, operations, financial planning, and timeline. Even if you just write one paragraph for each section, I want you to do the writing. I want you to do the thinking. And I know it takes time, but that's what makes all the difference. The third tool that I want to share with you is the strategic planning that I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs ignore. When I was working at Publicis, which is an advertising agency for Nestle, this is something that international corporations, they take it very, very seriously. And they invest a lot of time and energy on that. So strategic planning, the difference with your business planning is that your business plan is the overall long-term goals that you have for your business, but your strategic planning is the one-year goal that you have. Let me tell you when you have to consider your strategic planning, even if you're just starting out. But these are the things that you can sit down and do. If you want your budgeting, or if you want your seeing how your business is doing, if your calendar is from January to January, then do your strategic planning, let's say in September or October, 2-3 months prior to your budgeting year. If you're doing your budgeting from September to September, do your strategic planning in June or July. In the advertising agency that I was at, they were doing it April to April. That's kind of odd. I usually see only January to end September, but there's no right or wrong. That's really up to you and your strategy. I personally do it in January. My budgeting is in January, so I do my strategic planning September and October. What you do is that you write your specific goals for that year. What is it that you want to achieve? From like the number of Facebook likes you want to have, your revenue if you want to increase it, if you want to add a new event, if you want to have a new partnership, what are your goals for the next 12 months? And if there are the long-term goals, what are the things that you can achieve in the upcoming year? So if you break down your 5-year goal, you say, okay, the first 10 elements needs to be done in the next year. And you also do even your SWOT analysis. You write about the resources that you have, your weaknesses, and who do you need to partner up to help you to achieve your goals. So as to all of my entrepreneurs, please don't ignore the strategic planning, because that will help you again to give you that clarity. People tell me I don't have time to do the planning, but that's But Stephen Covey talks about like the planning actually puts you on a fast track. Yes, I know you sit down. It's not really, might not be fun, but those 2-3 hours that you put to do all of this, they will save you a lot of time, money, and energy in a long term. So for those of you who are familiar with Stephen Covey's time management matrix, these are quadrant 2 activities which he mentions. They are not urgent, but they are important to do. Step number 3, before I dive into step number 3, tell me how you feel. Has this been, have you learned something new? And do you find the presentation valuable? And it gives me also time to just drink my tea and know how you feel and you're still with me. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you. Let's get into the plan. Perfect. I'm happy to hear that, Marisa. I'm happy to see you again. Step number 3 is you need to communicate with your customers strategically. So marketing is my specialty, and I can talk about marketing and advertising for days, but my time is limited with you today. But marketing is fascinating for me. And when I went to Bali and I learned about digital marketing, the world is really changing. So we have to adapt to all of these changes. When I was in South Africa in June for a leadership program, and there was a lady who came from the US. She's quite exceptional. Like, she's 18-year-old, already has a company with 30 employees, and she was nominated. She's getting into politics, and she was telling us, we were talking about feminine values, masculine values, and she was telling us that as a millennial, if I tell my friends feminine, masculine, they will tell me, get out of that room. These old people are brainwashing you. That was really interesting for me, that the next generation, they don't even have any difference between male and female. This is in the US that I'm talking about. So if you're having a product for millennials, you have to know them, because the new generation, they're totally different than us. And it was really fascinating for me to know exactly even the languaging that we are using. If you tell them feminine and masculine, you turn them off. So you have to know your audience very, very well. And that's only by hearing from them, by getting to know about them. Another thing, so when it comes to marketing, one thing very, very simple that I want you to have in your mind before you do any kind of a strategy, ask yourself, do I want to get new customers? Do I want to keep my customers? Or do you want to grow my customers? That will make a huge difference when you are when you are creating posts, let's say for your social media, the way that you use your languaging, the way that you write your copy. Because if it is to get customers, it means that they have never heard about you. It's more of an awareness phase. So they don't know who you are. It's very different than people who have already bought from you, but you want to keep them, you want to nurture them, they're already in your list, or you want to grow your customer. You want them to refer you to somebody else, to cross-sell you. If you want to cross-sell to them, or you want to upsell them to them. All of these are the things that, again, we have one session completely on marketing only when during our entrepreneurship course. But just very quickly for me to be able to tell you about the concept, and you can do research on your own as well, is to think about the strategies that you need to do to get new customers. What are the things you can do to keep them? I put some tips for you, like the loyalty program you can have, the newsletter that you send them, blogging to them, creating content for them. So for example, for me, I do one article every Saturday. I add value to the community by sharing with them my learnings, and then I go on Facebook Live every day at 3 p.m. Those of you who want to hear from me again and see me again, come on at 3 p.m. I'll have a session on the support group you need as an entrepreneur every Thursday at 3 p.m. So that's my way of my customers. Even so, for that, I tackle both. I get new customers because people hear about me, and because I do all of these Facebook Lives, and it also makes me be in touch with my customers. And then there are different strategies to grow your customers as well. I can see again some of you sending me messages privately. You can, again, I'm just telling you that if you send a message, you can send it to all panelists. It's okay if you're sending it to me privately if you want to talk to me, but it's good to send it to all panelists as well. to all the attendees also. Yeah, you have options to send it to all attendees and panelists, or only to, I can see actually a lot of you are just sending it to all panelists, to all of us, but not to everybody else. That's where you can see other people's messages. So if you choose panelists and attendees, everybody can see your messages. So guys, if you want other people to hear about your business, to know more about you, choose all panelists and attendees. Because I can see a lot of you who are just sending it to us. Others can't see it, but it's okay. So let's get into your marketing strategy. In terms of your traditional marketing, I want you to think of your customer avatar. Go in detail, like create, that's one thing I remember again from my Nestle, the time I was working on Nestle. All of these big brands like Nido, Cerelac, Maggi, each of them, they have a clear customer avatar. For us now at Mompreneurs, we have a person in mind. We named her Mariam. So Mariam is 35-year-old. She has 2 kids. She has a business. She has a very busy lifestyle. So for you to understand your audience better, think about exactly, name them. Think about, it's imaginary person, but it gives you an idea about who your customer avatar is. I had single people who attended my event. I had 22-year-olds who came to my course. I had 65-year-olds who came to my course, and I had men coming to my course. So it doesn't mean that you don't serve other people, but at least for yourself, you have a clear idea of who your customers are, because it makes a difference in your languaging. It makes a difference. Now, if I want to at least to target people, I target only women. If men want to buy my course, I don't mind it. But for me, I target only women. So I make sure that the investment that I make, it goes to the right people. So I want you to think of your customer avatar, your value proposition. Why are you different than your competitors? Your relationship that you will have, and your channels. We talked about this in your business model canvas as well. So this is part of your marketing strategy. Digital, oh my God, I told you I learned so much from my session that I had in Bali in 5-day digital marketing. It's really beyond just your social media or your website. It's all about your online presence, your list building, your search engine marketing, search engine optimization. I can't go through all of these, but you can take note of them, do research on your own, attend workshops, take courses. Because as an entrepreneur, I lost around more than 18,000 dirhams only for my search engine optimization, because I didn't understand the language that the agency was speaking to me, and they could just tell me like next month, next month, next month. And by then I lost actually more than 20K only for my SEO, which as an entrepreneur, I'm sure you can relate to this. You can't afford doing these kind of mistakes. I'm not a multi-million-dollar business with like $1 million budget in marketing that it's okay to lose 20,000 dirhams. That's why I'm so passionate about helping other entrepreneurs, because we wasted so much money on making the mistakes that I could have avoided if I had the knowledge that I have today. Your digital KPIs and tracking. This is something I talked to my Mompreneur Rising alumni yesterday. There are different KPIs attached to the different layers of your marketing, whether it's bottom of the funnel, middle of the funnel, or top of the funnel. I don't want to get into that. That's quite technical, but I had a private Facebook Live for our students yesterday. What you can do is just search more about marketing funnel and the KPIs attached to each layer. I had one of my mompreneurs telling me, Mona, what's the social media? It's the waste because it never converts to sale. She was attaching a different KPI to a different layer of marketing. Your social media posts, not your social media ads, your social media posts, the daily posts, the motivational posts that you have every day, they are your top of the funnel. They're only for awareness. They're not supposed to convert into sales. So I want you to know exactly the strategy for each layer of your marketing and attach them to the right KPIs for your business. So the KPIs for your top of the funnel is how many people liked your Facebook, how many people shared your video, how many people commented on it, how many YouTube subscribers you have. Let me tell you something fascinating about Facebook is that on Facebook, when you're putting an ad, when you retarget people, you can go and tell Facebook, I want you to only show this ad who commented on my posts so far and who shared my video, and they've watched my video more than 50%. So you know that they're serious. You know that they're your warm audience. So you have the ability of retarget people who have interacted with you on Facebook and show them different ads. The guy that I learned digital marketing from him in Bali, he has 2 million likes on his Facebook. And he was saying that by retargeting, he has an audience of 6 million people, just people who shared, liked, and commented on his videos. Just imagine of being able to show your ad to 6 million, not random people, warm audience. They know about you. They have engaged with you before. These are the things we didn't have a couple of years ago. And as an entrepreneur, I want you to be aware of them because they are game changing. Okay, perfect. Step number 4, just again, quickly share with me your feedback. This time you can send it to all panelists and attendees so other people can see your feedbacks as well if you want. And let me know if you have been enjoying the webinar. Again, it gives me a chance also to drink my tea and read your messages. It's my mini break. So I hope you have learned. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you for sharing your feedback. Awesome. I'm really happy that you're enjoying it. That's my mission. I'm very happy. Thank you all for sharing your feedbacks. Let's dive into step number 4, which is track your numbers closely from day one. One thing, let me just, we have one attendee that is raising their hand. Okay, let me get out of this. I think somebody's raising their hand. Give me a second to make sure I can find them. They put it down. Okay, did somebody just raise their hand and they put it down? No problem. Let's get back into the presentation. Oh. Finance. See, I wanted to tell you that when I want to talk about finance, something happens, and that's the proof. Somebody just raised their hands. You know what happens in our class? Thank you so much, Georgia, for halfway in, but really enjoyed the info. I'm really enjoying. Thank you, Tasmia. I'm really happy that you guys are enjoying. Thanks for sharing your feedback. Gives me more energy as well. Let me tell you one thing, ladies. What happens in our finance session, we have 2 sessions on finance during our Mompreneur Rising course, and people unconsciously get sick or something happens or they don't attend, and I give them the warning. I tell them, you are not allowed to get sick. You are not allowed to have accidents because your numbers unconsciously, you run away from them. And just now I wanted to talk about numbers and I got distracted. So I don't know what is it with women and numbers, but we have to become friends with money and with our numbers, because that's also another game changing. 2, if you have any CFOs or specialized accounting people in the room, I apologize for this session because it's super simple, this step. I made it as simple as possible for those people who don't like numbers. Because I realize a lot of people, they stay away from finance. I'm one of them with 2 master's degrees, 1 bachelor. The thing that I neglected the most was accounting. Even though I studied accounting in all of the university degrees that I have, I still neglected accounting. So I made it super simple for you. One thing is, bookkeeping is different than your accounting. Bookkeeping is something that I want you to do from now. As soon as, please take a note, as soon as you finish this webinar, don't say tomorrow, don't say after the weekend, start one Excel sheet. Just write into it every dirham that you spend for your business. If you buy a cookie for your office, if you buy a pen, I don't care, even if it's 10 dirhams. I want you to get into the habit of recording everything that you spend for your business. Apart from the computer and the printer and the desk, etc., which are usually, you might have the receipts, even the small things, I want you to consider them. Also, if you have any revenue coming in, you can just have very simple Excel sheet, write one column, everything that you spend and the date and the purpose and everything that the revenues that are coming in. So that is your bookkeeping. Simple. You can give it to your 18-year-old, a nephew or a niece or cousin to do it. You can have a virtual VA to do it. You can do it yourself. Options are yours, but do them. Accounting is beyond bookkeeping. So Huda asked if you could also give examples in real business life. Would be in which one, Huda? Can you tell me for which are you talking about? Finance now? And definitely I have many examples, especially from our mompreneurs who have gone through the course and I know their businesses very well. I can give you real examples. Just tell me which section you want more examples, and I'll actually share with you some examples after these 5 steps as well. So accounting is beyond bookkeeping. It's a process of recording, interpreting, classifying, analyzing, reporting and summarizing your financial data. Your accounting is something that I'll make it again very simple for you, but it's beyond just keeping track of your numbers and knowing where your cash goes. I want you, okay, Hoda, you were late a little bit, no problem. One slide before the, okay, I'll have a Q&A session as well at the end of this presentation. If you have any questions, if you need anything, let me know, whether it's marketing or finance. I think Hoda is talking about finance, marketing now. So I don't want to get into marketing now within the middle of finance, but at the end of this, I promise to answer all of your questions today live. Okay, so accounting is a process that is beyond, it's more than your just bookkeeping. There are three financial statements that I want you to know. Very simple. It's either you hear income statement, profit and loss, or P&L, all the same thing. I know a lot of people who are just confused because their accountant tells them income statement, their team tells them profit and loss, and somebody tells them P&L, and they're like, oh my God, there are so many financial statements I need to know about. They're all the same thing, ladies. Whether somebody calls them income statement, profit and loss, and P&L, they're referring to the same thing. So the income statement or P&L shows you if your business idea is feasible, if your business is profitable or not. So again, it's a very simple template that we share with our Mompreneur Rising alumni. That's very simple. You put all of your revenue streams, you put all of your costs. Now you need to know about tax, so you deduct the tax, etc. And you need to do forecasting for at least a year ahead of you, because when you don't know all of these targeting, when you don't have this in place, what happens is that everything is like trial and error. You're doing a business based on luck, which again, another reason that a lot of entrepreneurs fail. But if you have an idea of these are my costs for the next year, these are my potential revenue streams, which then we attach them to KPIs. If you need to, let's say, earn 20K, 100K, 200K, we say, okay, this means that you need to have, let's say, 5 clients, which means 10 phone calls, which means 2 meetings. So this is the beauty of your finance. It actually helps you with your strategy of telling your team or knowing how many people you should call, how many people you should talk to, and it gives you that overall strategy. But cash flow statement is another statement that you need to know, be aware of, because most of the businesses that fail, they're actually profitable ideas, but they failed because they didn't manage their cash flow properly. One of the challenges that we had was we worked with big organizations and they pay you after 30 to 60 days, but you don't have that kind of reputation. So at the beginning, so you have to immediately pay cash to your suppliers. So for the next 30, 60 days, you actually run out of cash, and a lot of businesses fail because of that reason. So the cash in your business is the blood of your business, and you need to manage it properly. And the balance sheet is a third financial statement that you have. It's like every quarter you can do it. If you're very new to financials, I wouldn't worry about that just yet. If you promise me to do your bookkeeping, your income statement and cash flow statement, you get to the point that you can outsource somebody to come every quarter and they will do your balance sheet. But basically it gives you clear idea of like your equity, and it's also very important. So I don't want to say that it's not important. It's also very important financial statement. But if you're just starting out, I know that some of our mompreneurs who have gone again through our course, some of them, they have been in business for 2-3 years. So they have accountants. Their accountants all hate me because now that they have the knowledge in finance, they go and ask them questions. I know a lot of people, they just like look at their financials, but they don't want to ask their team. Now they know exactly why they have to know more about each financial statement, and they start asking questions, which is also very good. Your team will know that also you understand all of these numbers. Okay. Before I go into step number 5, let me see if there is anything else. Hope you are still learning, enjoying. You're awake with me. It's almost 1 hour. See, I promised you that it's a value-packed, action-packed presentation, and I hope I managed to stay true to my words. Okay. As someone mentioned, feel free to have your questions in the Q&A box, and I will answer them by the end of this presentation. Let's get into step number 5. It's money, money, money. How do we bring that money into our business? And let me tell you a couple of options. I know a lot of entrepreneurs are not aware of these options, or they're not aware of the meaning of the words which you can see. So that's why I want to go through them with you. Bootstrapping, what it means is you are using your own money, which I know a lot of people when they're starting out, they're bootstrapping. It just means that I don't have anybody else investing in the business. It's me and my business. So I reinvest the revenue that I generate back into the business, and it's sustainable. So that means you are bootstrapping. You don't necessarily need to have investors on board. If you are bringing in enough money and you're having that growth every single month, then definitely I know many organizations who have we never actually had an investor on board with us. So you definitely can manage without bringing an investor by bootstrapping. But the thing is that if you are especially in a tech field, so if you want to create a product that is quite expensive to invest in, like if you have a factory, whether it's a physical product or an app which will cost you $500,000, for example, you don't want to invest all of your own money into that, because again, we all know that being an entrepreneur is risky. You might fail, and you don't want to lose all of your investment in that idea. So it's always good to have investors on board, especially if the initial investment is very heavy. So let me give you some of the options. Triple F is family, friends, and fools. And why they say they are fools? Or family and friends, because these are the group that they don't need necessarily a lot of documents from you to invest in your business. They don't do that much of due diligence to make sure that your idea is feasible. You know, you're sitting at the dinner table with your dad, with your husband, with your brother, and tell them, you know what, I have a very cool idea. Or, you know, guys, I've been in business for 2 years. I need a partner on board. Would you like to take 10% of the business and give me $100,000? They're not going to ask you what's the valuation of your company, what is that, what is it? They might, but I mean, they won't go like an investor, which it will take 6 months for them to invest in your business. They will just invest because they love you, because they trust you, because they want to help you. So that's definitely a lot of option that people have, taking money from family, friends, and fools. Crowdfunding, so there are crowdfunding platforms. It's becoming more and more popular in the region. And there are 3 types of crowdfunding. If you are, I don't think any of you guys are here is a non-profit, but the crowdfundings are either donation-based, or they're reward-based, or they're equity-based. So if it's donation-based, the contribution, when it's made, your donor or investor doesn't need anything from you. They just donate because they believe in your cause or they want to help you. Reward-based are those that's the investor, you give them a reward. You tell them, help me. So basically, if you don't know what crowdfunding is, I'm going to talk about the online version of it. You create usually a video about your product, about your idea. You put it on a platform, and then you ask people to come. And instead of having one investor, you open it to public. So anybody can come and put even $5, $20, $1,000 and help you to do fundraising for your business. Sometimes it's reward based. So you tell them, like, give me $5, I give you a t-shirt or a mug, or $100, I send you something. So it's a reward based. You're not giving them the shares of your business. Some of them are equity based. It means that like you tell them for every $1,000 which you give to me, I give you, let's say 0.5% of my company. So $2,000, I give you 1% of my company. So you have to also make sure whether you want to give equity or not. And then based on that, you choose the right platform. I suggest crowdfunding to those of you who already have a good following, because people, like if you have a following on social media or on your mailing list, etc., it's more likely that your campaign will be successful. Angel investors are people that invest their own money into your business. So angels usually are, that's the difference between angel investors and venture capitalists. Venture capitalists is also an organization. It's not one person. They also do fundraising from their investors. So they come, let's say they have $500 million and it's their goal to give that money to entrepreneurs. And so you're not dealing with one person. That's the difference between angel investors and VCs. So angels usually, because they're investing their own money, that's why they're called angels. Usually the investment also is lower. Anything between, so there are organizations here, one of them is Womena, one of them is Wayne. So they invest in entrepreneurs. The investment could start from $5,000, $100,000, usually maximum of like $200,000, $300,000, because again, these are individuals' money. VCs, you know, we had examples of Kareem. There are entrepreneurs that you can see, like VCs invest $200 million, $300 million. So the numbers that we're talking about when it comes to VCs is much higher than startups. So usually there are, like, they invest in startups who have raised a couple of rounds of funding already. So if you're just starting out, I don't expect you to go and raise $10 million. It's step by step. Usually you get $100,000, $200,000 initially, and then you have like that keeps you going for a year, and then you have a proof of, okay, you gave me $100,000, this is what I did with it, or another organization gave me $100,000, this is how I spent it. And it's a proof that even if you give me $2 million, I can manage it. After $2 million, you might go for a third round of investment. And then every time, so it's a game. I always tell my entrepreneurs it's a game, that when you get into investment game, basically. Banks, if you're just starting out, they don't really serve entrepreneurs or startups. They only work mainly with SMEs. So it's not really an option at the beginning. And grants, it's something that I added for this presentation because I just remembered that I won personally, like one time $15,000, one time $8,000 from different organizations, especially if you're a women entrepreneur and you are active in the community. There are different organizations that they win. You can go into the competition and win grants. Well, $8,000, $15,000 is not much, but definitely if it's money that you don't expect, it can open a lot of doors in terms of especially your marketing for you. So I wanted to include that as well for you as an option, especially for those of you, if you live in the UAE, in the region, there are a lot of grants options here and there. One thing, we have a lot of partners who are investors. They tell me, Mona, entrepreneurs don't do their homework when they come to us. So now that you have this knowledge, I want you to make sure that you have your pitch deck, which is a presentation you show to your investors. It's a 12-slide presentation. It's something that we worked with our mompreneurs for 2 months to make sure that their pitch deck is ready and you go and pitch in front of investors. Your business plan and your financials ready before going to any investor. Because to be very honest with you, ideas don't worth anything to an investor. They really want to make sure that you have your P&L ready, you have your forecasting ready, you have done your homework before going to them. I can't believe that all of you stayed with me till now. I'm so proud of you. And as I promised to you, I want to share with you one more step. It's my bonus step for overachievers, for those of you who have stayed with me till now. And how was the financials and funding session? Did you enjoy it? See, it's not that scary. Do you agree with me? We have to change our relationship with money. There are many ways to bring in your money. And a lot of people who come to our course, they don't know about these options, but these are all available to you. All of these are available to you as long as you do your homework. That's one thing I shared with you at the beginning. For those of you who joined me late, We didn't know. After we were about to close down the business and I decided to learn about entrepreneurship, the biggest learning for me was that as an entrepreneur, we are not aware of a lot of things that are available to us and we don't use them. So now that you know, I wanted to create this webinar for you so you know about all of these steps from early stages of your business, or even if you have been in business for a couple of years. We understood all of this after 4 years, and it saved our business. So I'm sure that it will help you as well. Step number 6 is your circle of genius. These are the people that I want you to surround yourself with, because the truth of the matter is that a lot of times after you become an entrepreneur, our friends change. You know, the people that we used to talk about certain things, there are people that I'm not saying that they don't love us, but you can't speak the same language with them, because entrepreneurship is a complete different world and it can become lonely at a lot of times. So mastermind groups, there are different ways to surround yourself with people who can help you. Masterminds are the group of 4 to 6 people that you go to them and you talk about your goals, what went wrong, what didn't go wrong. And people ask me how to join masterminds. Very simple. I was just looking at my notes yesterday and I saw the message that I sent to my masterminds back in February, just telling them that, hi, I love what you do and I'd love to have you in my mastermind group. The first one will be like over breakfast on this date. Would you like to join us? So usually 2 to 6 people, not more than 6, because otherwise it gets too big. If you don't have a mastermind, just create one, because it helps when you surround yourself with like-minded people. In the mastermind, usually everybody is at the same level, similar level. So 2-3 years in a business or 4 or 5 years in business, and they can support each other. Your mentors, you don't necessarily need to pay your mentors, but it's somebody that you look up to. And you can easily go to your mentor and tell them, listen, I love what you do and I want you to be my mentor. Like, can we have a meeting once a month? So you have to, it's more likely that they say yes. Coaches are the ones that you pay them, but I had business coaches from paying them more than 2,000 dirhams per month, but they put you again on a fast track. These are the people that it's their job to sit with you. Business coaches here I'm talking about, to get into the details of your business, and they get really involved. Your mentors don't necessarily get involved. They give you that overall strategy, but your coaches like even talk about the day-to-day actions, the strategy. And it's good to have coaches as well. And your support group or the networking groups that you go to are the people that, like, for example, the tribes that we have created for mompreneurs. These are all the support groups, meeting like-minded people in your business. I also wanted to share with you some of the top. So for me, this circle of genius is something that it can definitely help your business a lot. And the times that you actually feel down, you have your own group of people to go to talk to them and to share your feelings with them. I wanted to share with you some of the top reasons why businesses fail from the research that was done by US Bank. And the 5 main reasons, ladies, these are not just my words. These are the statistics. This is the research that has been done. 82% poor cash flow management skills, poor understanding of cash flow, the exact thing that I told you that a lot of people fail, even though if they're profitable, just because they don't know how to manage their cash. 78% lack of well-developed business plan. So we covered all of this. Your cash flow, your financials, the business plan was your step 2, including insufficient research on the business before starting. 77% not pricing it properly. When you do your financials, when you know your costs, you'll be able to price your product properly. I had one of our mompreneurs who attended our course in 2014, and then she said, Mona, if I sell 20 items, I'll be happy. We did her financials. She had to sell 200 items with that price. It's a huge difference between 20 to 200, but there are a lot of things that she didn't take into consideration when she was doing her pricing. I had another lady that she didn't put the pricing of the printing into her pricing because her brother-in-law was doing her printing. But then after the brother-in-law closed down the business, her pricing didn't make sense anymore. So that's why that your pricing from day one is so important. 70% not recognizing or ignoring what they don't do well and not seeking help from those who do. And 64% minimizing the importance of promoting the business properly, which is your marketing. These 5 are the 5 steps that I shared with you, and majority of people they don't stay in business because they don't do those steps properly. I want you to imagine that you do what you love every single day. You have found balance and harmony in your life. And you have a freedom of choice, money, and time that we talked at the beginning. And you're able to do what you're passionate about, and also, very importantly, make a difference in this world. I strongly believe that entrepreneurs are making the world a better place. And the world is now waiting. It's your time to share the gift that you have, that has been given only to you, with the world. So I hope, can you tell me, let me ask you a question, that how many of you learned something new today? So tell me how many of you enjoyed this presentation, and how many of you, before we go to the Q&A, I promise you that I have some common Q&A questions that everybody asks. We will learn from those as well, and I will answer your questions as well. I'm glad that you learned something. Thank you so much for sharing your feedbacks with me. I can see a lot of you are still only sending it to me, but that's absolutely fine as well. Thank you for this. I appreciate you being here. So I want you to see, now that you see how easy it is to succeed in your life and business by just following these 6 steps. You know, these are eye openers. It starts by educating yourself and learning every single day. As I said, still I'm enrolled in 6 different courses, learning every single day in order to make sure that we can stay in a business, in the entrepreneurship game. So how many of you are excited to implement these steps and also learn more and take this to the whole new level? So before, again, we go to Q&A, I hope I managed to stay true to my words and give you a value-packed presentation. I talked much faster than I usually do, just to be able to teach you as much as I can. Zaina, thank you for your feedback, inspiring. Thank you, Georgia, I'm really happy. So the only problem that I had today was that this webinar is just 90 minutes. It's just not possible for me to tell you everything I learned in the last 7 years in such a short period of time, but I hope I managed to give you as much as I could in 90 minutes. And that was my biggest struggle in the webinar. So I want to know if it will be okay with you to take a couple of minutes to share with you the program that we created specifically for entrepreneurs, that I wish someone has shared it with me when I was just starting out. Then you can see if it's a right fit for you or not. I say this from the bottom of my heart, that whether you see the program and you join the program or not, I know that the presentation that I put for you are the things that you can implement from today. I gave you everything that I could. I didn't hold back to anything. But at the same time, I know that there's a lot more that you need to learn as an entrepreneur. I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship. It's my mission to educate as many people as possible, to go through what I went through, to not to go through what I went through, and to make sure that you will not make the same mistakes that I made. I created this program specifically for entrepreneurs to save their time, money, and energy. I believe that it's smarter to learn from other people's mistakes than to make these mistakes yourself and learn from them. Successful people, ladies, always learn from those who show them the blueprints instead of reinventing the wheels. And it's a shortcut to success. So let me tell you, if it's okay with you, the program is called Mompreneur Rising. If it's okay with you, I share the details with you, that this has empowered myself. It has empowered many of our mompreneurs who have gone through the learnings, and then you can see whether this is the right fit for you or not. So this is the this is the course that we have created. It's a comprehensive entrepreneurial startup program. It guides you through all the steps that we talked about to create and grow your successful business. It comes in 2 formats. It's in-person training, that we have been doing the in-person training for those who are in Dubai since 2014. I believe in digital, so I'm very, very happy to tell those of you who are in Kuwait, in other countries in GCC, everything is recorded. You have your dedicated platform where you can also. Thank you, Zain, for giving me your super high energy and saying yay. I'm happy that to be able to share this with you, because as I said, I put all of my heart into this. So for those of you who are working full-time, I have an Emirati lady who is a lawyer working full-time, and she has been planning to join the course since 2014, but we never had the option for her to learn about this online. So this is the first year that she managed to join us. So she's one of the participants. Everything will be online for you on the videos. All these 6 courses that I shared with you that I'm part of, they're all online. So I believe in online learning. If all of these courses put me on a fast track, and I'm confident that this course will also put you on a fast track and give you the tribe of entrepreneurs that you need. It has 8 modules. It has your business planning, strategic planning in session 1, your funding and pitch deck. I will get into the details of how to do fundraising for your business and how to prepare your pitch deck, which is a presentation for your investors. So the whole 8 weeks, every week we are working on your pitch deck for those of you who want to pitch your idea to investors. Even if you don't want to pitch it to an investor, for me, even if you don't want to sell your business, when you have your pitch deck ready, it gives you a lot of clarity and confidence that your idea is feasible. Session 3 will work on your why, win, and values, which was step number 1 today that we shared. We have 2 sessions on marketing, traditional marketing and digital marketing. I get into your funnel of marketing much in details. We have 2 sessions on your finance. We share with you templates. So for you, you don't need to go to accountants from day 1. For a good year or so, you can only use this template to track your numbers, and then later on you can bring on more, and outsource an accountant into your organizations. And also we have a session on public speaking and a pitch finale. So basically everything that I learned in the last 7 years, I put them into a program that, again, I'm telling you, I wish somebody shared this with me. So it starts on September 25th. Every Monday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. until November 13th. But even again, if you're traveling, if you can't come on Mondays, it doesn't matter. You have lifetime access to all of these learnings. And what we're doing as we speak, we are also recording all of these videos in a studio. So it will be a very high quality and video production product that we're creating for you. And again, you will have lifetime access to all of these as well. Let me, as I said, we have over 80 people who have graduated from this course. Let's hear from some of them. They can give you a grasp of the program.
Dear Mona, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you've done the last 2 weeks. I came to you with an idea in my mind. I had literally nothing, no logo, no real concept. It took me a lot of effort and hard work to get to where I am today, and you've done a great deal. To anybody out there who is looking for a program to help them boost and get into the entrepreneurial spirit, I highly recommend Mona. Thank you very much for everything.
I love them all, and they know that. Like, they're very, very close to my heart. Marianne, she was also working full time when I talked to her first. And she's gonna go big. I believe in her. So just write her name. But during the course, she managed to bring everything, manifest the idea into a reality.
Hi, my name is Marianne Azari. I met Mona in an event that I attended of one of her action partners. I have heard about mompreneurs before from my friends, but I didn't really take that information seriously until I met Mona talking as one of the judge channels in an event. And she has inspired me to actually go up to her and ask her a little bit more about the course. And then, for some reason, I just didn't, go forward with investigating more about the course. And I called Mona and I asked her, Mona, can you please let me know what is this Mompreneurs all about and how is it going to help me? And actually, I wasn't 100% convinced. Mona managed to explain to me what it's about, and she told me it's going to really benefit you and take you through your journey step by step and help you and guide you see your idea better. Did I know that her words were exactly a spot on of how I feel today? After completing this course, thank you very much, Mona, for making me take this course, for convincing me to do it. It was the best thing that I have done from a professional point of view. I've learned a lot. I really recommend it for other entrepreneurs, moms or non-moms. Thank you, Mona.
I really get goosebumps when I hear this, because being able to do something that you love, but also all of these mompreneurs, they know that I don't only do this for, it's not just my business, it's really my mission. So I go out of my way to make sure that I stay true to my promise and the words that I give you. And I really created something that again, I wish somebody had shown it to me a couple of years ago. Let's hear from Nashila. Nashila has been in business for many, many years, and they have 3 clinics. She's starting a new business. She's a dear friend as well. Let's hear from her. They all become friends after the course.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to Mona and Saman for all their hard work and effort. I thoroughly enjoyed the course. I met some amazing, wonderful people that I will keep in touch with. And I've been in business for 15 years and I still learn things that I didn't even know. So it was a really, really good course to take.
I love them, really. And I miss them. So I just started Facebook Lives every week for them. And it was just nice to hear from them. It's the community, the tribe. Tanya, you might know her, especially those who are in Dubai. Let's hear from her.
Mompreneur Rising was quite a journey. And it was an eye-opener on a lot of areas in my business, be it the financing, the fundraising, the accounting, and other areas. I totally enjoyed it, and it helped me see my business in a different way. And I recommend it for a lot of startups. Not even startups. I have been in the region for 3 years and I benefited a lot from it as well. Thank you, Mona, for all this information and knowledge.
Tanya is also a trainer and she's quite famous also in the moms community. Asma is the last one I want to share with you. I have many of these, but I can't share all of them with you. I value your time. So this is the last one I will share with you.
Hi everyone. I am very, very happy to have been taking this course. I can't tell you how much grateful I am from Mona. And this course has been a big life-changing experience for me. I had started my business about 2.5 years ago and I was stuck. I didn't know what I should do. And this course came to me as a miracle. I'm very happy that I took it. And thank you so much for everything.
I hear things like it came to me as a miracle, it's life-changing, it's an eye-opener, and it's something that I thoroughly believe in. Ladies, is exactly like going to the gym. We all know how to exercise, but when you surround yourself with like-minded people, when you have your tribe, when you have a coach, then definitely the results that you get is way different than if you want to do it on your own. For those of you who know me closely, you know that I do many webinars, even whether we have a course or not. I am on Facebook Live every single week. I write articles for you. It's really my mission. So the presentation today, I didn't hold back to anything. So I shared it to everything, but I know a lot of people want to take it to the next level. And that's why I want to share with you the course. Let me tell you what you will get. As I mentioned, access to the 8-week program. And it will be either you join us live or you join us by webinar. I know for a lot of people, they prefer the webinar version, and that's absolutely fine. This course, the value you will get is way more than $3,000 because just I told you, one course, one mistake that I made on SEO cost me more than 20,000 dirhams. So you will get a lot of value that it will prevent you to do to make many mistakes that you would have made without knowing all of these things. The good thing is that for the first time, we are also introducing the web portal where you will have your own username and password where you can access everything. One thing I want to tell you, I have never seen anybody else doing this is lifetime access to all of the videos, and I will keep updating them. So apart from this 8 weeks, later on, it's not that it will finish. Later on, I know that digital marketing is changing. I know that there are a lot of new tools that are coming. I will update new videos and you will have access to them lifetime. As long as I'm alive and as long as I'm doing this, I'm not planning to give up anytime soon. You will have an access to all of these updated videos online, whether you attend this course, the course on a webinar format or in-person training, you will have access to the web portal. Again, this is very, very, isn't that exciting? I'm very excited for this part because I know that I'll keep generating content for you. And how many of you would agree with me that it's definitely worth way more than $2,000. So the total value is now more than $5,000. I know a lot of successful mom entrepreneurs. I have videos for you that I interviewed. It will be more than 3 over the time, but minimum of 3 successful mompreneurs like Dana Benton, people who started from $3,000 and they turned their business into a multi-million-dollar businesses. We don't have to only, again, learn from our own mistakes. We can learn from these people. We have access to their blueprint. What did they do that we can do? And I learned every single day from these interviews and from these mompreneurs. For me, again, having a roadmap to their success, definitely, I'm sure you agree with me that it's worth a lot more than $1,500. We have a step-by-step roadmap for you. This is a guide. It's something that you can keep your own kind of a plan of what are the next step for your business. This roadmap, this blueprint of just filling in basically the gaps for your information is something that definitely will help you not only this year, but for the longest, many, many years to come. That's the value. I put like a minimum value that I could think of for these, more than $2,500, definitely. We have a private Facebook group with the community support, weekly Q&As with myself. So every single week, like yesterday, I went to them, I talked to them about marketing funnel, and you definitely will be part of this group. You have your own support group, and you can ask me your questions every single week. So how do you put a price value to a support group who will always be there for you? I would say that this is priceless because you can't really get that from anywhere else, that kind of a support group. So you can use all of these things in your business. What I put together is more than $9,000. I also have another course on self-mastery, on energy management, time management, and goal setting. I know a lot of mompreneurs, they find it challenging to keep their energy high, to organize their time, to put goals. So I have a dedicated video for you that will definitely, there are things, practical things that you can do from day one, and that's for sure worth, just even if it gives you 1 hour more time in your day or it increases your energy, it's worth definitely more than $1,000. And for those of you who join me, the first 5 registrations, I give you 2 private consultation session free of charge. My hourly rate is $550, so that's a value of $1,100 as well. So wow, let's just recap very quickly. You will have access to the 8-week program for valued at $3,000, lifetime access to the private web portal. The content gets updated, interviews for success, downloadable roadmap, private Facebook group, self-mastery video, and one-on-one sessions to you and I sitting down working on your business before we start the course or during the course. So if all this did was ensure that the business you create starts off on the right foot, wouldn't it be worth more than $10,000? I know a lot of consultants that they come and they charge way more than this. We certainly paid a lot more than this and wasted a lot of time and energy due to the mistakes that we made. And you have a chance to save your time and energy and have a clear road map in front of you. Obviously, I'm not going to charge you $10K. I know the challenges that you have at the beginning, even though I know it's worth even more than that for your business. So I had really 2 options, either to create simple videos and charge very little, just leave the information out there for everyone, let's say $100. Or my second option would be to price it relatively high, to only work with closely and personally with people who are serious. And I decided that I want to work only with a few people who are serious because my time is limited and I want to make sure that I give enough of my time and attention to each and every single one of you. And it wouldn't be possible to do that with a large group of people. So at the same time, I want to make sure that this course is affordable for all of you. I finally priced it at $1,780 only. So that's my promise to you. The value that you get is way more than your investment, way more than, I can tell you that the experience that you will have definitely worth more than $10,000. But take it this from me that it's certainly worth a lot more than $1,780. I understand that as entrepreneurs, even this might not be accessible to some of you at some point, no matter how serious you are. So I have another option as well, which is 6 installments of $327. So ladies, it's not that you have to pay all of these 6 installments and then start right away with the first investment, and then you have 1 month, you have 6 months to pay the rest. You can have access to all the support group. You can have access to everything as soon as you make the initial payment and you tell me that you're serious. Somebody was asking me, Mona, is it $1,700 and then $327? No, it's or. So you either pay one payment of $1,780 or you pay 6 payments of $327 with you. That's $327. Let me be honest with you. So as I said, with an investment of $327 per month, you are getting access to all the mentorship, the supporting group, education, templates, discounts, our partners, only discounts from our partners, the free tickets to the events. It will definitely worth more than the $1,700. I paid for some of my coaches on a monthly basis more than 4,000 dirhams just for 2 hours of her time. So take it from someone who has invested a lot in her education. And I'm telling you that with the amount of value that you get, if you want to get it elsewhere, where you have to invest a lot more. The digital marketing course that I told you I took was $7,500 course. The courses that I've paid for, they are way more than $1,780. But I work with entrepreneurs. I want to make it accessible for you. So I did everything I can in my power to make it accessible for you. And the next step for you is to go to mompointrising.com, learn more about the course, watch all the interviews. Not all of them are there, but like more interviews. And you can join the community online. Let me be very, very honest with you. The truth of the matter is that all of us, when we start a new journey, we pay regardless, one way or another. Either you invest in your education and learn, you put yourself on a fast track, or what the mistake that we made was to learn the hard way by making all the mistakes and learning from them. So I would suggest that I recommend you to go to mompointrising.com as this first step. For those of you who want to take advantage of your 2-hour free with me, just schedule your interview, no commitment, because I want to talk to each and every one of you to make sure that the course is suitable for you. So you can just go to mompointrising.com, schedule your free appointment with me. If you're in Dubai, we do it over the telephone. If you're in another country, we do it through Skype. I want to learn more from you, and I will tell you if the course is suitable for you or not. But for those of you who schedule your interview with me today, you still get all the bonuses of the self-mastery, energy management, time management, and goal setting, as well as your 2 one-on-one sessions with me. And then after we do our interview, if you see that the course is suitable for you, you can join the course immediately. So make sure to watch all the videos that are on the page that I have put for you and learn more from the amazing community that we have. This is not just my business. This is my mission. This is my driving force. I started 4 businesses, and I see the difference of empowering other women, seeing them that when they come to the course, they still don't have the confidence. They are not sure. They're scared. And then seeing them flourish in a short period of 2 months. My mission is to empower moms, to empower women through education and entrepreneurship. And I'll be delighted to work with you as well and give wings to your mission. If you have somebody raised somebody wrote for me, I tried logging in this morning to the Mom Point Rising site. I couldn't get in. We'll try again. Please try again, Zain. Immediately after this webinar, you will have an email from me with a link to the interview page. And for those of you who scheduled your interview today, again, no commitment. You don't need to give me your credit card details. I don't need anything from you. Just schedule your interview. I value your time, money, and also your energy. So I want to make sure that it is suitable for you. Just schedule your appointment. We will have a chat together. If you see that it's the right fit for you, then you can either pay through PayPal, credit card, or bank transfer. That's totally up to you. Let me go through some frequently asked questions, the questions that people ask me very often. One of them is that, Mona, do I really, and then I will answer your questions. I can see a couple of them there. Do I really need a business plan to start my business? I already answered this, but I still get asked a lot of times. You don't need a business plan for the sake of having that 20, 30, 5 pages, whatever you will create. You need it just for you to sit down, get into the habit of putting aside some time in a week for yourself and for your business to write all of the steps, the strategies that you want to have. So it's just we are living in such a fast and distracting kind of a life that if you don't put all of these times to take a step back and look to see, are we actually climbing the right wall or ladder, or no. So yes, business plan, I would suggest to have it. Do I need to hire an accountant from day one? You don't need an accountant from day one, but I want you to keep record your financials from day one. We share templates with our groups. Find templates even if you don't join the course. The information that I gave you are sufficient enough at least for you to start doing things on your own. Please keep track of everything from day one. How do I get funding from? Money is there. It's just to know how to get it. There is a lot of money happening every single day. I hear people raise $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $200,000. Money is there, ladies. It is out there. But you need to have that confidence in you first. And it only happens after you do your own homework of knowing, having your financials ready, having your business plan ready, having your pitch deck. Even if you are not going to sell your business, I want you to have your pitch deck ready just for you to know that apart from your father, husband, brother, somebody is there willing to invest in your business. I work full-time. I don't have time to take a business course. That's why we created the digital version. I hear you. I had people who drive every week from Abu Dhabi, and they have like 3 kids. I have people coming from Ras Al Khaimah. I know it's not easy. I also know that it is possible. So it's just this discipline. And because you have lifetime access to this, even if you do 5 steps in these 2 months, and then every month you take 1 step, it's better to grow slowly and gradually than to not grow at all. Are you available on Facebook? Every single week. Actually, every single day I come and check if there are any questions, but every single week I'll be there to answer your questions and to talk about a new topic together. I care about you and your business, and I make sure that I'll be available to you if you have any further questions. How long does it take me to finish the course? The course itself is 2 months, and everybody managed to finish it in 2 months. But again, you have lifetime access to everything. So even if you want to do it later on, absolutely fine. How long do we have access to the course? As long as I'm alive and as long as I'm doing this, you will have access to the course. You know what? Even if we record it and anything happens, you still have access to the recordings at the very least. So now you can ask me your questions. I'm gonna turn off my slide share so you can see my face again. Next step, go to mompreneurrising.com. To learn more about the course, register for free interview, and we will have a chat together, and you can join the community starting from September 25th, which I'm very excited about. This is our last batch who graduated from the course. I'm looking forward to welcoming you as well to the class, joining more than 80 people, around actually 100 people who have attended our course and managed to take their idea to them and their business to the next level. Thank you from me. Let me now start my video. Oh, perfect. I hope you can see me because I want to see your questions. I'm going to put my glasses as well. But let me go now to your questions on my mobile. Okay. A lot of thank yous. You're welcome. I really hope that you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. I love to know your feedback. Again, I do these webinars. I create free content for the community every single week. Today itself at 3 p.m., I'll be talking about support group that you need. We touched on it very quickly, your Circle of Genius. If you want, come on my Facebook at 3 p.m. Every single week, I talk about a new topic. And this week is about your Circle of Genius and people that you need as an entrepreneur. Tasmia says, my honor to thank you. No doubt you're awesome. As I want to start an online work as virtual assistant, how I can differentiate the scams? I want to start online work as virtual assistant. How I can differentiate the scams and the real ones? The scams clients, Tasmia, the scam, how I can differentiate, or how do you want to differentiate yourself? Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean, how to differentiate yourself. I agree with you, I hear you. There are a lot of scams out there. I know a lot of people who are selling courses. I know a lot of people who do webinars. I have wasted a lot of time watching webinars, which are from the beginning just telling me about their course. And I want to learn something. When I go to a webinar, yes, I love to also see if that course is suitable for me or not. I want to know if what they're offering to me, but I also want to learn at least 1 or 2 new things. And I know a lot of people who just come from the beginning talking about themselves. People will feel if you're authentic and you are genuine or not. That I can guarantee you. So it's all about, it takes time. You have to nurture your list. You have to go to them. You have to talk to them. But your true clients, when you know your why as well, when you have a strong why and you share your why with them, they know they have that connection with you. So I wouldn't really worry about that. Don't worry about other people. Just be the best that you can in whatever that you are doing. That is my mantra. Be the best that you can. What does the best mean to you? Be the best, and I guarantee you that your tribe will follow you. I hope that answered your question, Tasmia. Don't have any fears when you're starting a business. Make sure that you put all of your heart into what you're doing, and everything else will follow. Okay, let me stop. Okay. Oh, now you can see me. Perfect. Tasmia, I couldn't understand how to everyone cash flow issues, as when we start any business, we arrange needed funds, but in the mid business gets messy and we have a lot of work to do, but our finance gets scarce in this time, we're stuck in problems. How can we get out from this situation? Tasmia, finance is a very tricky topic. I agree with you. And it's something that I feel like a very old woman taking my glasses on. It's all about having your P&L in place and knowing how much of having your P&L and cash flow statements properly in place and do your forecasting. So when you know that, for example, you need 60K per month, you need to have that 60K not just in terms of sales and the payments will come after 2 months, but also you need to have forecasting for your cash flow. So these are templates that you need to have 6 months in advance. You don't want to think about your cash when you're short in cash. You want to think about it 6 months in advance. I know companies who have a cash on the side, 6 months worth of all of their costs, whether it's salaries or their rents. So for them, they need to have that 6 months as a guarantee in their bank account to make sure that they will not run out of cash. So for you, the question here is, are you tracking your financials on a monthly basis, or are you thinking about it way in advance? Because if you know 6 months in advance that you might run out of cash after 6 months, there are things or actions that you can take today so you will not get there. Okay, let me know if there are any other questions. I think I answered most of the other questions that I can see here already during my presentation. If you don't have any other questions, whether in the chat box or I promise you 90 minutes, more than 90 minutes I've been with you. I'm really looking forward to working with all of you during this course. Or, as I said, you are now in my mailing list. You will hear from me every single Saturday. I'm looking forward to working for some of you that you feel the course is a right fit for you. It was my absolute pleasure to be with you in the last 100 minutes now. And I'm wishing you all the best in your journey of entrepreneurship. Remember that there's only one person that has the gift that you have, and it is our responsibility to share that gift with the world, with all the people around us. I believe that entrepreneurs are making our world a better place, and the way to have that financial freedom, the freedom of choice, the freedom of money, and freedom of time is through entrepreneurship. So it was my absolute thanks a lot for replaying. My pleasure, Tasmia. Thank you all again. Thank you for your lovely messages. I am looking forward to interview those of you who are interested and seeing some of you on the class on September 25th. Shukran, Muna. My pleasure, Zain. It was absolute pleasure to be with you, and I'm looking forward to Marisa. My pleasure. I have loved it. Thank you so much. Really, this is, so those of you who know me closely, this is more than a business for me. This is, you guys are my tribe. You guys are the people that I get all of my energy from, and it's my absolute pleasure to share with you as much as possible. Looking forward to interviewing some of you and seeing you very, very soon. Have a lovely day and weekend, and bye for now. I hope we recorded this time. We recorded, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna end this meeting. See you later. Bye-bye.